Hey, it is your buddy, Peace and Harmony with you here today. And we're zooming in and focusing in on what it means to be enmeshed, to have narcissistic enmeshment, to be caught up in a cycle of abuse and really sort of violation of one's boundaries, violation of one's personhood, where one really is connected with their life purpose, their life energy in a positive sense, versus being stuck in and ensnared in a enmeshed relationship with a narcissist. And I want to give a huge shout out to all the viewers who are doing the great work. Much love to you, my viewers who are seeking harmonization, my deep harmonizers, who are really seeking to get this resolved and get this resolved quickly. Because really time is your greatest asset. And the more you prolong the grief, the sorrow, the regret, the living in the past, the projecting the negative in the future, the more of your own precious time you're wasting. And really time is your greatest commodity. And so I really want you to tap into that and understand what it means and how crucial and important it is for you to work through narcissistic enmeshment. So narcissistic enmeshment basically means that you have become violated through a lowering of your boundaries or a lowering of your standards with which you will subjugate or make yourself available to become submissive to or allow another to either quietly dominate you or loudly dominate you through their requests, through their body language, through their looks, through their gaze, to the demanding, piercing look. You better do this or else, or you should be this way or else, or the sort of threatening fight or flight that sets this relationship pattern and dynamic into motion in the beginning. So when we talk about fight or flight, that's the limbic brain, that's the survival brain. It's very hard to create a new and positive life while you're living in that fight or flight, that survival mode. That being threatened and being reactive and responsive to that threat. And when you are in or involved or subjugated to, submissive to, or essentially bowing down or getting walked over or used by a narcissist through the violation of the boundaries, it's really kind of like their needs own you. You don't own your needs, and there is a mechanism, basically emotional manipulation put in place where because you had unconsciously agreed or shut yourself down to, or acknowledging and basically acquiescing to their needs. In other words, it's making a pact within oneself unconsciously that you will not voice your needs, that you'll submerge them, you'll push them down, you'll suppress your needs, your voice, your interests, your time, in order to be supportive of them, be there for them, or be there to carry out their needs. And really this becomes what's known as enmeshment, when your boundaries are no longer intact and you're not able to speak up, take ownership of your time, take ownership of your voice, your needs. And then furthermore, really what this does, because the end result is the feeling of self-sabotage, because as you repeat this over and over again, your body begins to memorize it or call it forth or have a belief system then in place that this is what I must do. This is in the name of love, or this is what the relationship calls for, or I've consciously agreed that I am inferior, I am less than, I am the meek, I am the weak, I am not the pretty, I am not the smart. It's the I am nots that you seal into place when you're involved in a relationship, of this dynamic where there is enmeshment taking place. In other words, the narcissist has ownership over your time. They might have ownership over your body, in a sexual sense, in a housework sense, even in a career sense. You might find yourself not being able to pursue the career or education that you need to get your life moving forward, or to be in pursuit of a better income, a better status, a better place in life, or where you seek to go. You might subjugate that, you might suppress that, you might push that down or repress that in order to pacify or satisfy the needs of this narcissist. In other words, you're playing their game. You are, then inadvertently, mistakenly, erroneously made an agreement or pact within yourself that you will then agree to, you give in, you're right, I am dumb, you're right, I can't do anything, you're right. And then you begin to battle it and almost, sarcastically put yourself down. And then the inner critic gets instilled. And then you see an inner identity of low self-esteem, or I am not. And you're then caught up or living, those thoughts which had just, come, at a moment's notice, or, in these relationships, then are repeated and rehearsed over time, and then memorized into the body and held on by the body, and then the belief system, because then it becomes kind of ingrained in what you believe and believe about yourself, what you're capable of, and they kind of they re-solidify and pushing you down into your I'm not. And this can go on for years, if not decades, until you say, this is, is enough is enough. I am not happy. I am taking responsibility and accountability for myself 100%. Until you see it for whatever it is. And usually time evolves it, where basically, you might be in that relationship for an amount of time, and you might be able to just keep it at that level where you are the codependent, you are the support, you are taking the abuse. But eventually, as with all things in life, things grow. People progress. They evolve. People grow in their families. They might, the people who you are in your immediate family, get married, have siblings, have grandkids, have grandchildren. So the family begins to branch out, and you're no longer in that same role. I mean, the roles change naturally with time, but what ends up happening is then you say, now I'm at a point where this role is no longer suiting me. This is no longer a good fit. It's very much like a job that you have then grown out of. You know the job so well, you're ready to progress onto the next promotion. You're ready to take the next steps. You're ready to kick it up. You're ready to amp it up. You're ready to go on to the next level. And you're excited because professional growth usually should be a positive thing. You're taking on new challenges, new assignments, new skills. The same is really kind of patterned in relationships, where you evolve and grow and you get promoted within the very relationships. In other words, we have more memories together. We have more dreams together. It's a moving, living being in your relationship, and you are a living, moving being, growing being yourself, not a doing. So life then becomes all about who you become. And so I know we have covered like a lifetime in this video, and it's very intensive, but I hope this really makes sense. And I hope this really brings you to a point of what you need to really evolve on beyond that enmeshment, because the enmeshment has you ensnared in a trap, very much as if you had your foot caught in a trap. If you've ever seen like a raccoon trap or a chipmunk trap, or like a wet cement, you're very much kind of like stuck, ensnared when you're in a mesh. Basically, they're going to keep ownership of you. They're going to keep tugging you down. They're going to keep pulling you back. They're going to keep you depressed. They're going to trigger you. They're going to remind you of how good they are and you're not. They're just going to keep doing it. And you're going to be like ensnared, almost like one foot stuck in the past. And then you're envisioning then for your future, you're in that fight or flight. You're in that threat mode and you're in survival mode. You're not in create mode. You're not in dream mode. You're in survival mode. And so, and then you're then living in the future of them projecting all these negative, horrible things, and they're not there for me. they're so horrible, and then you repeat this cycle again and again and again. It's just playing out in your mind. You don't have control, and so you're either stuck with one foot in the past, and then like an emotional splits, basically with one foot in the future, looking at how horrible and treacherous and how cruel the world is, etc. And then you're wondering how to get out of this dilemma. So the solution is to come to the very present where you are right now. Sitting in your chair, standing in your room, driving in your car, in your basement, in your attic, in your second floor, your first floor, your couch, your chair, the floor, wherever it is. And if you find yourself right now, and just shut down all that noise and, from the survival mode in that part of the fight or flight part of your brain, just shut that down for a moment. And then stop the, survival projection of nobody's here for me, and I'm so upset, and I've wasted all this time, and life is not going my way, and things will never work out for me, and I'm so disappointed in myself and life, and, shut down that survival projection of fear and threat and self-reproach and self-sabotage. So shut that down for a moment, and then just come to the present moment where you are sitting. And if you look around you, are there any immediate threats, or are you safe? Are there any people yelling at you right now, or can you find some peace and harmony? Can you look around you and then find a little bit of gratitude about what you do have, and then see it for yourself just for a moment through a new perspective? Can you get a new perspective in this present moment? And just see where you are in the here and now, not stuck in the past and not stuck with the projection of a horrible future, and come right here to the here and now, and get a sense for your body to just embody this moment. So you're just in the here and now. You're not replaying all the categories, the threats, the survival mode, and get a chance just to quiet that part of your brain and get out of that brainwave pattern and then the feelings that it creates in your body, and just let those go and come to the present moment and be able to surrender to that and be in that, and then allow your feelings to be separate from the cause of all that enmeshment, and allow yourself to see and begin right in this very moment, like a birthing moment for yourself, where you're all of a sudden just birthed into the present, and you're in the here and now, and you're seeing it as it is, and furthermore, with gratitude for how it is, meaning I'm glad that I have made it through to the other side, and I'm in the present, and then allowing yourself to relax into a more quiet and calm and focused and concentrated brainwave state, so that you're now able to focus and concentrate and be, and then furthermore use and call upon this state and continue to let go of that chatter or that negative reproach, and forgive yourself and forgive the others, and just let them go. It is what it is. Cut it loose, whatever it is, no matter how big, no matter how detrimental, no matter what the loss, no matter who it is, no matter the time, no matter the financials. Just cut it off, let it go. Cut through all the ties, the obligations that it has you ensnared in now, and let it go. The cords are no longer there. The ties are no longer there. The extra requirements, the codependency is no longer there. It's no longer required of you. And you've now made amends with all the archangels, the higher forces, the emotional intelligence. You've now made your agreement with all of the God force, the infinite intelligence that is, and you're letting it go. And you're now in alignment and congruence with the higher power, the use that is your life purpose, and in agreement with that and committed to that and living in that higher intelligence and letting it sweep into your body and give you that divine energy, where divine energy is flowing through you, and it's uninhibited, and it's positive, and it's joyful, and it's blissful, and it's giving you new feelings and new thoughts, and it's allowing you to eliminate really all of those problems once and for all and never go back, never ever enter into them again. Letting go of the habits, letting go of the bad habits, the bad spending habits, the bad eating habits, the bad thinking habits, the bad feeling habits, and the bad be habits. All those bad habits that had inhabited to you up till now are released and let go, and amen. They are let go, and they are let go for good, and they're given back to the universal energy force, which can recycle them and only bring them to your highest good. And they're now allowing you to alchemize into the positive and compress time and learn from those moments. All those moments are now compressed into time and are refined for your clarity and purity of spirit and body and mind now. And as you do that, you come into the present, the healing. It's okay. It's new. It's allowing you to feel lighter. It's allowing you to think differently. It's allowing you to be differently. And as you enter into this space, in this lightness, allow yourself to live in that present lightness. Even though it was only a taste, maybe you've only experienced it a flicker a couple weeks ago, a couple months ago, a year ago, or maybe never even at all. Allow yourself to come into that present where all those ruminations are just let go. They're cut out. And now you're able to live into more of an open mind, an open heart. Your heart is present. Your heart is open. And it's safe within you. So you can open up that heart and mind and get it thinking and feeling together. And it allows you to be in your future moving forward in that pure healed space, which is whole, which is separate and distinct from all that other negative input, positive or negative. And you have now come to that present and allowing yourself then to be free of that and liberated and independent and autonomous and industrious now, where you can now roll up your sleeves and work from that present moment, which is now part of the creative energy, the productive energy, where you experience beauty, joy, bliss, gratitude, enlightenment, forgiveness. Things are moving freely. You're not caught up in all the bad snares. You're not hooked into that sort of entanglement. You're able to let things go easily and effortlessly. And then now the good is what you become. And as you stay in that space and and you stay with it long enough through the period of the day, the period of the next day, and then you stay with it long enough, then you'll become the feeling of the new person and embody that with which you want to become. Not the ensnared victim, not the abused, over-obligator, not the codependent feeling guilty. You're washing your spirit and your mindset, your thought pattern free and clear of that. So you become, you become dissolved of that completely. So those thoughts don't take hold of you anymore. And you come into this space and you allow yourself to feel there and emote from there. And you're letting all that go. All the other, wherever it is it's going, you have no longer a need to control the outcome anymore. And then now you're able to get into that creative brainwave space where you're then able to get into that quantum field and then free up the prefrontal cortex where you can begin to dream and be and think and plan and use better judgments for yourself, by yourself, and for those close to you, who you can then create the positive impressions on, positive smiles, the positive energy. You're trying new things, new solutions are coming to you, new thoughts, you're thinking new thought patterns that are different from the day before. You're allowing yourself to feel the feelings that are different and unique from the day before. In other words, you're freeing that up. You're no longer trying to control it. Your being is coming to be. And as you do that, you then find that you're able to focus and get in touch with what you want, and not the enmeshed you, but the new you. It's really like it's having a new life, having a new lease on life. And becoming that and creating that for yourself is where you want to be and stay. And I hope I've made this clear, because it's really it's very much a clear mindset. Once you understand the impact and how it had, and how it had created a negative flow or chain reaction in your life, then you put a stop to it. You break the cycle. You break free. you come to that present moment, which is not ruminating from the past or feeling the threats of the future. Let that go entirely and begin to move freely through really a new vision, and really kind of get a vision. When I say a vision, I mean an image, like a mentor. I talk in the recovery journal how important it is to have a mentor, and really call forth and get in touch with those images which are driving your life, driving your decisions, your choices, and kind of remember the positive from the past and how those are playing out to your future. I bet each of you can remember when you were 3 or 5 or 7 or 8 or 9, a vision of who you wanted to become. I think there's a little kernel, a little nugget of something that you had a dream there. Let's dust that off, blow off, the dust, and get in touch with that little core dream, that little diamond inside, the diamond in the rough. And begin to get in touch with that and begin to say amen to that and begin to live and work and foster and nurture that yourself and back up yourself. And as you begin to be that inside, you'll then repel those others which are not in alignment, but then draw those to you who are in alignment of that inner goal of who you want to be, become, have, and feel. And you'll begin to draw forth those people who are in support of that. So life will deliver new people, events, situations to you that will help foster that and then make that your reality. That is really the core of the manifestation and the healing process. It is your buddy, Peace and Harmony, with you here today. And I hope that these videos do help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.